By two amazing guests. Douglas Sidialo is a blind Kenyan cyclist, humanitarian and goodwill ambassador. He lost his sight after suffering injuries from the US Embassy bomb attack in Nairobi, Kenya in 1998. Through acceptance, courage and determination, he has become an inspiration around the world. He's visiting South Africa to ride in the 900 kilometers, 9-day Joberg2c mountain bike race. Sidialo and his sighted cycling partner, John Mwangi Kiriko, join us in studio. John, Douglas, welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Douglas, you've got an amazing story, and let's start with you because why cycling and why get into cycling, you know, following that devastating accident?
When I lost sight following the embassy bombing, after getting discharged from hospital, I was very devastated. In fact, I imagined that if I would have met the people behind the bombing, I would have skinned them alive. But down the line, I realized that bitterness and anger only but retards healing. So I started picking up the pieces, and I've been walking the journey for the last 17 years. And that's why I've been very much involved into adventure sports as an adventure cyclist and a mountain climber. In 2007, I climbed to the top of Africa, that is Uhuru Peak on Mount Kilimanjaro. And then in 2005. But in 2007, I cycled the journey of my lifetime. That is 12,000 kilometers in 96 days from Cairo to Cape Town in an event called Tour d'Afrique. And the reason why I do this is for 4 reasons. To demonstrate the power of the human spirit. Then secondly, to demonstrate that what is it within you is more stronger than what is in your way. Then thirdly, is to overcome evil with good. And the fourth reason is to inspire hope and excite the world.
I mean, John, riding with Douglas, it must be hugely inspiring for you, but you also know him on a much deeper level. What's it like cycling with him?
The first thing, tandem is so having more challenges, but you have to be a strong pilot. Then only the first thing, I never ride the tandem because I'm a professional in single bike. So I say, okay, I will try to do the tandem. Yeah.
And it must make it an even more special experience being able to be the eyes for somebody like Douglas. Douglas, you have for the Joberg2c. Are you guys ready for this challenge?
Well, we've been preparing for the last 2 years for Joberg2c. In fact, I got to know about Joberg2c through Mr. Joberg2c, and he's the one who has worked tirelessly to ensure that we get entry to do the Old Mutual Joberg2c. And another another South African who works at the UN in Nairobi called John Mwangi. So the kind of preparation we have done has been quite incredible. We have done quite a number of cycling events in Kenya, the Sunday Chartered Rift Valley Odyssey, the Laikipia Extreme Challenge, and these are the most difficult mountain biking races in Kenya. And in fact, last year we did the Standard Chartered Rift Valley Odyssey with Kevin Evans and Mark Knox, and you can imagine an event which Mark Knox and Kevin Evans can do, and we did. That means that we can as well do the Joberg2c quite successfully.
Oh, what's it like riding with John? Does he kind of tell you what's happening around you? I mean, many people enter a lot of these mountain bike stage races just because of the magnificence of the country that you travel across. You know, there's really beautiful areas. Does he tell you a little bit about what he's seeing and what's around? Well,
this is the second time I've come to South Africa. In fact, when I was doing the Tour d'Afrique, the day I arrived in Cape Town, I was joined by Ellen Zille, who actually rode on a tandem behind, just like me. So South Africans are great supporters of blind people and people with disability, and I, for one, have gotten that support from one prominent South African. So when we are doing this kind of event, we actually gel, and that's why we've been training for the last 3 years with John. And that training has been good enough preparation for us to understand each other. Because the most important thing, especially with tandem cycling, is to know how to communicate. Because if you can communicate well with your pilot, then you're able to successfully complete the distance. And we've been doing all this practice with John, who is very patient, especially on the bike. He's very skilled, being the current reigning Commonwealth champion junior in Kenya. So he's a very strong cyclist. And I believe in him, he believes in me. And that's why our team is called Seeing is Believing. Because we believe that there is more than what an eye can see. And that is also why we are supporting the Old Mutual Joberg2c banner of more than yourself. Because I know South Africans are more than themselves, despite the challenges they are facing today as a result of xenophobia. Most South Africans are preaching peace. They are preaching unity and preaching love. And that's exactly what I resonate around, having lost my sight in the bombing.
All right, what an inspirational story, and we wish you guys all the best of luck with Joberg2c. 9 days, 900 kilometers. John, I hope you're going to speak a little bit more than you did to me in the studio. I hope you're going to tell Douglas a little bit more about the scenery and the beauty of South Africa that you guys are going to be riding through.
And lastly, actually, I want to just congratulate and thank Old Mutual for giving us entry, Coca-Cola for supporting us to participate in these events by giving us the tickets, and Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa, which helps the blind children in Africa get braille literacy and appropriate technology. Without these institutions and ET systems, which also helped me a great deal, we would not be here. So we are very proud that South Africans have really stood with us in this journey, and we are not going to let anybody down.
That's awesome. I need not say anything more. John, you want to say something?
Maybe, the tandem, you have to communicate, and then to say anything in front, so you have to shout because they don't hear, they don't see. Yeah. But tandem is so nice, so fantastic. But the time you go into the off-road, you get more challenges than you go into the road race. So the time you go to the off-road, I have to shout to say bumps, hole, climb, steep drop, and then you have to very, very communicate.
All right, so it's more about saying what's actually en route, and that you guys are maybe going on a single trail, or you just watch out for some branches rather than actually taking in the scenery. I do hope that you have some time once you guys complete a couple of the stages to actually just sit and you can tell Douglas about some of the beauty that you guys are going to be going through in South Africa. We wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much for coming through, and it's an amazing story, and really for a good cause as well, helping those children in Kenya that maybe wouldn't be able to be educated, trying to get them the technology so they are able to be educated, to learn to read and write.
Not just in Kenya, but the whole of Africa. Kilimanjaro Blind Trust has a program for most African countries with the blind. So it's not just Kenya. Though we are based in Kenya, but we have programs across Africa.
Across Africa, okay.
And actually the president of the Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa is the global CEO of Unilever, Mr. Paul Polman.
Okay, perfect. Douglas, we need a whole show, I think. That's actually why John is so quiet, because Douglas does all the talking. All right. Morning Live takes a break. We'll be back after this.